Eyes on the Road, an anti-distracted driving presentation by Salem Driedger. What even counts as distracted driving? Distracted driving is defined as any activity that takes attention away from driving. Some obvious examples of this include texting, eating, and involved conversations. But that is not the end of the list. Activities like queuing up a song, changing the destination on your GPS, and focusing too hard on one element of the road, like the car ahead of you, or checking out for signs, or even just trying to set your speed right to match the cars around you, can be counted as distracted driving. It's surprising how many of the distractions that used to just be on our phones are built right into the dashboard nowadays, like having access to Spotify or being able to take calls while at the wheel. How big of an issue is distracted driving? Distracted driving is a huge issue. With 79% of drivers confessing to have driven distracted, and 17% of young drivers confessing to using their phones while driving. And just knowing the amount of casualties that can be incurred by distracted driving, these percents are too high. And that number is over 3,200 people in just the year 2023. You may think accidents like these only happen to people who are being severely negligent, but did you know that becoming distracted by your phone for just 5 seconds while traveling 55 kilometers per hour is equivalent to driving the distance of a football field with your eyes closed? And then I have a graph that shows the percentage you slow down in your reaction times when you're being distracted by certain things. With you being distracted, 27% slower with a hands-free phone, 37% slower while texting, and 46% slower with a handheld phone. What things have been made recently to prevent distracted driving? In the year 2025, the government over doubled the minimum fine for distracted driving from a $250 minimum to a $600 minimum, with the ceiling going even higher if you're a repeat offender. Another preventative measure that's been suggested is an AI coach that will analyze your face for signs of attention on the road, as well as bringing hazards to your attention if you may not have noticed them. A company named SureCan has already ran a demo of this concept, and the results they claim could be game-changing, with a 60% reduction of incidents caused by distracted driving, as well as a 30% reduction in unnecessary crashes, avoidable crashes. I don't know why they worded it like that. The idea of having an AI bossing you around while you drive may seem annoying, but if the numbers they boast are at all accurate, this may be the future of safe driving. What can you do to prevent distracted driving? The end of distracted driving and the start of the road to zero all hinges as us as individuals having a respect for the road. If we want to get the total deaths by car-related accidents down to zero, we need to really lock in on these things. This can be done by vowing to yourself to avoid anything you may find distracting. This can be done by respecting your friends' boundaries that they've given you while in their car and expecting nothing but the same respect from your passengers. This can be done by reminding yourself of the consequences of what could happen if you let yourself get distracted, all the deaths that happen due to these accidents, and making sure you don't get distracted. The end.